For my 9-week-long curriculum plan, I have chosen the overarching theme of personal representation in art. The primary curriculum plan objective is that students will explore and express their identity and emotions through the creation of 2 interconnected pieces of art. The first section of this curriculum plan will be dedicated to the creation of an autobiographical still life drawing using graphite. Students will explore the history of still life as well as the history of symbolism in still life. They will focus primarily on artists like Audrey Flack and Paul Cézanne, and how they use color, objects, composition, and etc. to portray specific emotions or meanings. They will also explore the genre of vanitas still life and how the genre as a whole uses objects, lighting, shadow, etc. to again portray different meanings. Students will have a preparatory work or a skill building section of this assignment where they will learn a variety of skills and techniques to work with the medium as well as correctly draw their subject matter. Students will brainstorm different objects that they believe represent themselves. They will bring these objects in, organize them into a compelling composition with the help of me and their peers, and then draw them using the graphite techniques as learned as part of the preparatory work section of this lesson. The objective of this section of the curriculum plan is that students will create an autobiographical still life using graphite that reflects their personal identity while demonstrating a mastery of graphite techniques to create the illusion of three-dimensional form. Some of the essential questions that I have included in this project is how can everyday objects be used to symbolize aspects of your identity or life experiences? And then how does creating a still life encourage reflection on personal identity and the relationship between material and cultural self-expression? We as a society emphasize material goods as part of a status symbol. So I think that it's really important for these students, specifically my high school students again, to really reflect on how they see their personal objects as a part of themselves and how they use their personal objects and material goods as a form of self-expression and almost an extension of themselves. They will be assessed in formative assessments along the preparatory work and skill building section of the lesson. So all of their preparatory work will be formatively assessed and graded in the gradebook, and then their final summative assessment will be their final artwork. The rubric that is listed on the slide is the highest section, so all 4s of the rubric. The second section of this lesson plan is dedicated to project number 2, which is a self-portrait. Students will create a self-portrait expressing a specific emotion they feel represents themselves. They will be using oil pastel as well as a monochromatic color scheme to further represent their chosen emotion. We will explore the history of portraits and emotional symbolism in portraits, focusing on artists such as Pablo Picasso, specifically during his Blue period, Edvard Munch with Scream and Sick Child, and then Julian Onderdonk with Blue Bonnet Scene. Students will choose an emotion, again, that they believe represents themselves, and they will explore how to express this non-verbally with their facial features, whether that's raised eyebrows, scrunched eyebrows, a frowned mouth, etc. They will express this emotion on their face for a photograph and use this as their reference photo. Students will also explore colors and the emotions that they are said to represent. They will incorporate this color by using a monochromatic color scheme to again just further represent their chosen emotion. Students again will learn a variety of skills and techniques to work with their chosen medium as well as draw their subject matter correctly. They will explore oil pastel techniques as well as proportion activities to properly draw faces and portraits. Students will brainstorm with their classmates emotions they feel represent them. They will explore facial expressions and different colors that represent that chosen emotion. They will photograph their faces in different expressions and then use that as their reference photo. The objective of this is that students will demonstrate their mastery of oil pastel and their understanding of value by creating a monochromatic self-portrait using oil pastels. They will also be assessed on the objective of expressing a chosen emotion through facial expression, as well as developing technical skills in blending, shading, and value. Some of the essential questions that I have included are how can expressions and minimal color choices or a monochromatic color scheme communicate complex emotions in art? We will also have the essential question of how can we use techniques to blend and layer oil pastels to achieve a smooth or textured finish while working with a monochromatic color. The final section of this curriculum plan is students will write a brief artist statement connecting their 2 art pieces. They will write about how their pieces relate to each other as well as themselves as artists, and looking at the similarities of the symbolism in the 2 pieces, as well as how these 2 pieces relate back to the central idea of personal representation in art, as well as self-expression in their artwork. This artist statement will be hung with the student's artwork in a school art show so that you can read the artist statement as well as compare and contrast the 2 pieces of artwork. Students will be given an artist statement writing guide with an outline, as well as writing prompts. They will get peer feedback and then finally submit their official artist statement. The goal of this unit is to enable students to explore their personal identity and emotions through art, focusing on self-expression. By creating an autobiographical still life and an emotional monochromatic self-portrait, students will use and explore different art mediums, techniques, skills, and symbolism to convey personal narratives. Ultimately, this unit aims to foster a comprehensive understanding of self-expression in art, culminating in a school art show where students will proudly present their creations as well as their insights. And then this is my resources.